Hi, I'm Greg Jones, and welcome to my simple instructional video for acoustic guitar players. I'm taking you from GarageBand to pro level. Let me just demonstrate. Here's what I mean by GarageBand. Take a simple song. A lot of guitar players I run into, acoustic players play Mighty to Save like this in a key of G. Or go. Everyone needs forgiveness, kindness of a Savior. By the time you're done with this video, you should be playing it like this. I call this the pro level. We'll see if you think of it that way too. Everyone needs forgiveness, kindness of a Savior, let mercy fall on me. It's very simple to go from that GarageBand level to the pro level. That's the thing that's so neat. It just takes some simple things to do that aren't rocket science, not complex. The first way I play that I'm calling GarageBand, that's a very common way I've heard a lot of players play. So the things I'm going to share in this video I think are common and they're common problems that a lot of people I expect watching this video might experience. So if you hear a big gap in those two sounds and you play like what I'm calling a GarageBand, stay tuned, okay? Take me about 10 minutes to show you. Most of what I'm going to show you is rhythm, but I'm going to show you a little bit about chord voicings. That song was in key of G. We'll start with the chord voicings part. And there's nothing wrong with that C chord I played. It's a legit chord, but in the key of G, there's a reason you'd want to play it like this. And what I'm doing, if you're not familiar with this, it's a C2 chord. If you just play a G chord, let me show you. Let's go to the G chord first, okay? The G chord I played was this. You know why I say That note, that open B. Take that open second string and cover it also with on the 3rd fret. So you're going to have 2 fingers here now, okay? So instead of just 1, you're going to get, okay? And you're going to cover both those strings. And now here's your G chord. So it's still G. It's no fancy name, no change in the chord. So instead of that G, do that G. All right? In fact, that's the worship G chord. That's the money chord in worship music and modern secular even in the key of G. Okay? Now your C chord, just take these 2 bass notes and move them, that pointing down, it's really up because it's in pitch, to the adjacent strings. Okay? And that's the C. It's a C2, C add 9 sometimes it's called. Okay? So that's your C chord. Nothing wrong with that C chord, but in the key of G, it's these 2 chords, okay? And the reason we like those is because they share these top 2 notes, the G and the D. And that's what makes them sound so good. Now, you are hearing my dogs in the background play. Okay. They're not fighting. They're just playing. Little chihuahuas back there. All right. So I took a D chord and I had the melody go. The melody goes, "And mercy fall on me." So the melody's moving between G, F sharp, and E. So that's a D sus when you do it, when you have that G note. And there's the D triad, and there's the D sus 2. That's all I did, okay? So, and then the E minor, I'm almost done with chords, by the way. As I said, most of this is going to be video. On the chord, the E minor, that E minor you play with like that, I play it with 1 finger. That's fine chord. What I did was add, believe me, they're just playing. The E minor I'm playing, I'm taking that G and D and throwing them in there again. That's all I did. Because again, those 2 notes are going to sound great in the key of G. So if you can get those notes in almost every chord you play in the key of G, it's probably going to sound more modern to you. There's a couple exceptions, but that's the basic ideas. Now let's just, as I said, everything else is rhythm. So I got a click track going here. Let's talk rhythm, okay? This is your quarter note, okay? The GarageBand version I played was either quarter note strums, and I'm playing the right chords, by the way, now, the voicings, right? Those are quarter note strums, all right? Or I did what's called 8th note strums, when you're playing 2 strums for every beat, which would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and either way, it should sound stiff to you. And it is. So that's what we're going to get over. And what we want to do is, first of all, that last way I played it on the eighth notes, every time the number goes by, I'm going down. So it's like 1, 2, okay? On the ups, that's the and. So you would say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and, all right? So with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to play just number 1, okay? So we're going to play beat 1. It's called the beat 1 of every measure. It's called the downbeat. So this is baby steps. This is the first thing, 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, and everyone needs companions, right? I keep forgetting the lyrics. Okay? So that's very, very simple, okay? The next step you want to do is I'm going to go strum 2, 3, 4, except my ghost strum, by the way, what I mean by that is I'm strumming in the air like I just don't care, haha. Meaning I'm strumming over the strings without contact. But what I want you to do is, I'm strumming the quarter note, let's strum the eighth note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The idea here is your hand is a metronome. Your hand is keeping time. This helps you be tight, okay? Tight rhythmically. 3 and 4 and, now I don't even have to say 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 because I can feel it. If you can't do this naturally, count out loud, okay? And if you're screwing it up, you're going too fast, okay? So that's the first step. You're going to be doing and everyone needs forgiveness. I got the lyric right. Kindness of the Savior, okay? That's the first basic. Now the next basic we're going to do is we're going to play on the and of 3. And what we mean by and of 3 is we mean the and that follows the number 3. Now all the ands are up strums. All the numbers are down strums, remember? So it's going to, in slow-mo, without the metronome, it'll be 1 and 2 and there's my 3. So and 4 and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? Every time we hit a 1, we're changing chords on this song, okay? And that'll vary per song. So that's what you want to be able to do. And I'm going to do it to the click. That click's at 73-ish in tempo, 73.89 specifically. Wow, sorry. But if you can't do it at the tempo of the song, you're going too fast, and slow it down like you just saw me do earlier. But I'll play it with the song. So I'm going to do the 1 and the and a 3. Here it goes. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and whoops, hit an extra. Now, notice I don't have to count, and that's because I can feel it. The idea with rhythm is that you count until you don't have to count. And you don't have to count when you start to feel it, all right? And that makes sense because imagine trying to sing and having to count it and play it at the same time. No. So that's what you want to get to the point. You want to get to the point in music where you don't have to think it. Whoops, I missed it. You can feel it, okay? And if you can't feel it, think until you can feel, okay? And that means slow down and count, all right? And over time, if you have the discipline to do that, you'll learn to feel it, okay? Now, that's the basic, those are the accents. That's the skeleton rhythm of this song, okay? The rest of it is going to be filling in some of those gaps in between. And the gaps I always fill in kind of probably vary for me versus others. But what I'll do is some of those syllables you're hearing me say between the 1 and the end of 3, I'll fill in with, usually with what I call little strums or micro strums. Like I'll do 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. I hope you can hear the end of 3 because I don't know if I I hit that consistently. Let me do it one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you can hear that. 1, 2, 3. The micro strums are like, I'm just like hitting like little bass notes, like maybe that's 2 strings, or I'll do like the top 2 strings. It could be middle strings, but instead of doing okay, which is too much, it doesn't allow the accents to come through. Maybe when the song gets bigger, you would strum everything that big, okay? But right now, I'm trying to make a big gap between the 1 and the and of 3 and the rest of it, okay? And what's really happening is I'm doing 1E, 1E and a 3E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, okay? That's kind of the idea. It's 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a, see the and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, so 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and if it screws you up at the speed, slow it down. So it'd be like 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and I'm noticing, by the way, with me, sometimes I do those micro strums, my and is down. So I'm a little inconsistent there, but it sounds good, so it doesn't really matter, okay? I don't know why that is, and I've never analyzed it to that depth. But that's, once you do that, you have what you heard me do at the beginning of the video, which is 2E and passion, blindness of the Savior. What I did there, just did a little up strum. Okay, that's all I did. Just gave it a little extra flourish. Okay, this is that rhythm I just did. That is the 1 and the and of 3 is very common in worship music. There's only one more rhythm that you want to learn for 4/4 time signature, and that is to do the 1 and the and of 2. Okay. And Mighty to Save probably won't work. I can't think of a song it works on, but let me play the rhythm and maybe that song will come to me. So the and of 2 will be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 3 and 4, 1, 2, and I'm doing ghost strumming, just so you can hear the without the little micro strums in between 2. So again, same steps. You want to count that until you can feel it, all right? Don't add all those little extra strums in between. Get that down, okay? Then, after you get it down where you can feel it and you don't have to count it, then you can add those little micro strums. Look what I did. I did 1 E and a. See, I'm sometimes adding some 16ths in there. That's why my strums are probably down sometimes on those ands instead of up, okay? And I didn't even realize I was doing that. But those 2 rhythms, the 1 and the and of 3 and the 1 and the and of 2, that's it. That's like 90%. That's probably all you would ever do in modern worship or secular music in 4/4 time, okay? 6/8's a little different story. And I don't have the metronome set up for that, and the video is getting long, so we'll run out of time. But that will just make a huge difference in your playing. It's mostly rhythm, a little chord voicing stuff. Count until you can feel it. If you're messing up, you're going too fast, slow down, okay? And that's a big key to learning how to play music well. It's slowing down, and it's being patient. And then it's dwelling in that slow place over and over and over again until muscle memory kicks in and until your brain connects to your heart and you can feel it. And then speed up. and it becomes natural. And before you know it, you don't have to think about it. Hope this video helped. Thanks for watching. Check out my website at www.gregjonesmusic.com.